Hey everybody, this is my week 7 discussion for crisis intervention, and this week's forum that we had to answer was: you have just been hired as the chief of security of a large high school system / district. The chairman of the board of education has told you to make a reduction in gangs and gang related activity and balance your number one priority. Discuss some of your recommendations or steps that you would implement. So, let me first off by saying that gang activity, gang violence, even if it's not a part of gang, just violence in general, I feel like we see a lot more than that than just the gang violence in schools now. But either way, it's a really, really big and important topic. So I'm kind of glad that we got to speak on it because I feel like it's always been an issue. So for one, the recommendations or steps that I would implement would be, honestly, at my high school, the first thing that I would implement is the fact that I know kids always worry about like the whole snitches thing and everything like that, when in reality it's not something you should worry about, because at the end of the day, in the real world, whether you're a snitch or not, anything can happen to you, no matter what. So I feel like the first thing that I would do personally is I would have a assembly where I would speak, and I would try my best to make everybody feel safe and feel comfortable that they can come talk to me no matter what. Everything kept between us is confidential unless it causes harm to yourself or others. That I would have to report. That would just be part of my job. But I feel like the most important thing that we have to look at is the fact that you have to make sure that everyone feels as if they are in a safe environment. You have to make a safe place for these kids, no matter what the situation is, whether it's gang violence, being a part of a gang, having issues with a gang, whether it's regular bullies, violence, regular violence, anything like that of any sort. So the first thing I would do would be to have an assembly to try and create that safe place. And then I feel like another thing that I would have to do is most of the troublesome students, because that's normally who it relates to, the ones that always get in trouble and stuff, I feel like I would set up like weekly appointments with them, just because, you know, to see if there's like a way or a root of the problem, like especially with the guidance counselor, or it doesn't even have to be the guidance counselor, it could just be me. I feel like with those students I would spend extra time on, just because there has to be a reason why they're causing trouble in the first place. It's not just a whole thing of, oh, I woke up and I just want to cause trouble. There has to be a deeper root to the problem. So those are two things that I would do. I feel like another thing that I would do is every weekly or bi-weekly, I would want to have some sort of another assembly where we do presentations or different videos, like examples of gang violence, having people come in who have been through it and talk about it and explain how, you know, they dealt with it, how they got away from it. I feel like that's also a very good thing, because sometimes kids don't want to listen to the adult telling them what to do. But when it comes from like a younger person who has been through it themselves, they seem to want to listen more and understand more. So I feel like I would have like weekly speakers come in or bi-weekly speakers come in and try and explain to the students that it's okay. This is a situation that we've been through before, that I've dealt with personally, and that you're not alone. So I feel like those are all things that I would do, and there's probably a whole bunch more that we do, but this video is way over what it's supposed to be. But I feel like those are just some of the starting key points that I would incorporate into my position as making these topics a number one priority. But thank you for listening, and that's all I really have for this discussion.